think so.
Okay, there I am. Hello, everyone! We are back with another voice acting stream. Continuing,
Let's go.
continuing on from case 4, in the middle of the investigation. Andre is joining us again for this time taking over for Herlock.
Hello.
And Arkham will do Garib, and Blackjack will do Joan, and Voltage will play that guy. The guy with the fish and chips.
What's his name?
What's his name? I don't know.
I hardly
Did you
know
actually
it.
get fish and chips today?
I didn't, unfortunately. The place I was gonna maybe order from did not deliver,
Oh, no.
or at least not with the app I was using. So another time.
That sucks.
Oh well.
And
Next time.
Yeah, next time. And Reginald, and before I go, Reginald is taking over Soseki, so I don't lose my mind. Here we go. If we get there, we're not. I'm not sure if we'll get there, but we'll see. He has at least another 30-minute segment after all this. So, here we go. It looks as though the police are still here, carrying on with their investigation.
Perfect. So let's find Inspector Gregson as quickly as possible.
Yes. And let's see if he'll take a break from his chips to look at the silver tip Iris gave for him. Us for him.
All right, sunshine. What? You back?
Yes, it's me. It's me. Inspector Gregson, do you have a moment?
I'm sorry to say I don't. I'm a very busy man. Much too busy to talk to a pair of foreign gadabouts. That's for sure.
Hold on a second, I'll turn off the Discord overlay. There's 2 of them. Okay.
We have these for you.
They're from some domestic gadabouts.
What?
A present from Miss Iris Wilson.
What? For me? From her ladyship?
Her ladyship?
Give that here, at once! Come on, hand it over, that's for me!
Ugh! Don't wait for me to give it to you, will you?
I'll turn down my gain a little bit.
I don't think you peaked that hard. It's fine. What was that coin exactly?
It's a silver crown, obviously, but it's a lot more than that. It's, well, it's an appearance fee, that's what it is.
An appearance fee? Oh, I see. You mean...
That's right. For the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes.
Did you say Sherlock?
I almost did, but I remembered what universe I live in. Her ladyship always offers me a little financial reward for featuring me. Every time.
Yes, of course. I know all about your exploits, Inspector. I read them avidly.
Of course, her using my name without my say-so does make me the butt of a lot of unpleasant jokes. But still.
I'm sorry, Inspector. That must be difficult for you.
Never you mind that. So, what do you want to know about then, eh?
Sorry?
Tell the gentleman in the black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem.
It says. Well, obviously it's not a problem. Go on, fire away. What do you want to know?
Well, if you wouldn't mind, Inspector. We'd very much like to know the address of Mr. Natsume's lodgings.
Ah, the little knife-wielding, mustachioed Japanese fellow. He lives in a right old hovel. It's just over there, look. On the first floor of that house on the corner where that wreck of a bicycle's propped up.
Ugh. That's smarts.
Yeah, that bike has had better days.
It's like they
That
could have
is
just.
nearby indeed.
It's like they could have just turned around and said, "Oh, I bet he lives over there." It's like, come on, really?
Man.
If I remember rightly, the landlord is a Mr. John Garrideb.
That's how you pronounce it. Okay. Garrideb.
Right, well, if you see her again, you make sure you give her ladyship my regards, you hear? I mean it. You tell her that Gregson sends his very best wishes.
Don't worry, Inspector. We will.
Goodbye for now, then. And long live her ladyship.
Long live her ladyship.
Smoke bomb!
Well, at least he told us what we wanted to know before he left.
Yes. So then, shall we go and see what we can find in Mr. Natsume's lodgings?
Definitely.
Sweet Christmas, it's dark in here. Hold on. Didn't mean to do that. Light. Eee! That's better.
Much better.
19th February, Mr. Natsume's lodgings. Actually, Reginald, you be Mr. Narrator.
Oh joy! And let's see, you want me to read it now?
Yeah, go ahead.
19th February, Mr. Natsume's lodgings.
Okay.
May I help you?
Ah, yeah, yes. Would this be the residence of Mr. John Garrideb?
Indeed it would, sir. And who may I say is calling?
My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Mr. Naruhodo is representing Mr. Soseki Natsume. I believe he takes lodgings here.
Oh,
We would very much like to ask him some questions about our client.
one moment, please. I shall convey the message to Mr. Garrideb.
Okay. Did you see that, Miss Susato? That was a real-life English maid!
I know. As I understand it, anyone of standing in English society employs a number of household staff. But that was the first time I've ever seen one in the flesh. Oh, this day keeps getting better.
It certainly feels like we've really arrived now, doesn't it?
We need only to meet a butler and the experience will be complete.
Well, I'm not sure if I'd go that far, but I understand the sentiment.
Thank you for waiting. Mr. Garrideb will see you now, this way.
Okay, I'm supposed to examine.
I didn't know we were meeting with Mac tonight. Jeez.
I was about to say.
Just enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good day to you. John Garrideb at your service.
Pleased to meet you, sir. This is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. He is a defense lawyer.
Do excuse me not getting up. Took a shot to the knee a few years back in the Battle of my Wand, don't you know? Earned a medal for my pains, but had to withdraw from service. Handed over the reins to the up-and-comings.
So he's a retired soldier.
It's a hell of a job getting up and downstairs now. I can tell you now. Tell you. Don't get out much, as you can imagine.
Yes, it's quite a climb up here to the second floor, isn't it? I was panting at the top. I was panting at the top of the stairs.
He really must take more exercise, Mr. Naruhodo.
Do you think so?
Well, Mr. Garrideb, no doubt you were very courageous to earn yourself a medal.
Oh, it was nothing. The medal's just a folderol, really. Wouldn't like to offend the general, though, so I grudgingly displayed it on the wall. Why don't you fetch it down, Joan? Let these good people see it properly. Joan? Stop. Dash it, old woman! Be careful!
Dearie me, I do beg your pardon, sir.
You jolly nearly took the skin off my hands.
I shall be more careful, sir.
So anyway, there you have it. Living a quiet life now.
Yes, I see.
Now then, you want to know about the chap lodging downstairs? Is that right?
Yes, we would be very grateful if you could answer some questions for us.
Only too pleased, naturally. Especially if it helps to keep the peace here in Blighty. We're forged an alliance with the Empire of Japan recently, as I'm sure you're aware. So this case is very much in the public eye, as it were.
Oh, is it?
That can't be sanitary, stirring tea with the pipe.
It really isn't.
Yeah.
It's tobacco tea.
He was in the war.
Even had some famous detective poking around, you know, in this old house. Would you believe?
Yes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
All right, the fella that tried to catch that there Lupin.
Lupin,
been.
Lupin.
Could have been. Didn't catch the chap's name. Not really my cup of tea, all that detective business.
Oh, but you have a copy of Rancid magazine here, so...
No.
Anyway, the chap's investigating the foreigner's room as we speak.
So he's in Soseki-san's room.
It's a bowling nuisance, is what it is. The whole neighborhood's twitching its curtains now. I don't like all this fuss. It's jolly unsettling.
How do y'all feel about the voice I'm giving him?
I like it.
I like it.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's great.
Good.
Please
I
keep
think it
doing it.
fits.
Yep.
Ah, welcome, Cersei.
How's it going?
About Mr. Natsumi then, Mr. Garrideb. Please, do tell us.
The Japanese chap. Only been lodging here for a week.
Oh, just 1 week. So he moved in very recently then.
I have 2 lodges most of the time, on the ground floor, and one just below us. The first floor room became available a week ago. Ah! Dash it all, Joan, but do be careful.
It's so good.
My goodness, I'm terribly sorry, sir.
I just
Be doing
love it when you
intentionally.
throw it. Oh, I love it. So good.
I'm not sure I get the symbolism or the joke, but Joan's face and her maid hat or whatever make her look like the sun, and Gyarados' head and
my
hair
God!
make moves.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it now.
I can't believe I didn't see that before.
You want to know my opinion? I thought he was a shady sort from the moment I set eyes on him.
Oh, why?
He seemed to have a most nervous disposition, always shaking and looking over his shoulder. The man had shady written across his sweat-soaked brow, if you ask me. I said to myself, Joan, that man is trouble. Sooner or later he's going to do something untoward. And I'm rarely wrong about anything.
We won't be calling this man maid as a witness, that's for sure.
Was there anything else that struck you as suspicious about the man at all?
Yes, oh yes, indeed there was.
And she's dying to tell us. Had you noticed anything else about your lodger, Mr. Natsume?
Oh my word, yes, the man was shadier than an orchard.
Could you elaborate?
Well, take the man's room, absolutely stuffed full of books it is, more than anyone could ever read. And he never so much as passes the time of day with another living soul. I haven't seen a single visitor call. He just trots off to that old bookshop every single day and comes back at 5 to light the gas fire. And the funny little man is up long past the time everyone else in the house has gone to bed, too.
Oh, I see.
The gentleman on the ground floor goes to bed at around 9 each night. But I've never known that Japanese fellow to retire any earlier than 2 in the morning.
Ah.
Could you clarify something, I wonder?
What, pray?
How do you know so much about Mr. Natsume's routine?
Sorry, I had to type something in the chat.
Oh.
I understood that neither of the lodges live on this floor of the house. Is that correct?
That's right. Yes, they're both blocks on the first floor and street level.
Then, how is it that you know so much about the lives of your lodgers? The precise times that they come back in the evening, for example, even the times they go to bed.
Good grief, Joan. Do be careful, woman.
Oh, my goodness, sir. I'm terribly sorry, sir.
Something doesn't add up here. It seems that the incident took place around 5 in the evening. Did you happen to look out of the window at Did you happen to look out of the window at around that time?
Window?
Yes, we noticed that the window over there looks out over Briar Road. The incident took place on the pavement just on the far side of the street. Was there anyone suspicious loitering nearby?
5 o'clock is dinner time in the Garradeb household. So I'm afraid I don't remember seeing anything. How about you, Joan?
No, sir. It would have been dusk outside already at that hour. And with the fog as well, I should think it would have been quite impossible to see the other side of the road.
Oh, I see.
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary then?
Such as?
Anything at all, even if it seems unrelated.
Well,
Yes? Was there something then? Was there something then?
well, it's nothing particularly significant, but at around the sort of time in it. For the love of God, Joan, what was you doing?
Oh, dearie me! What have I done? I'm awfully sorry, sir.
Do be more careful, woman.
Of course, sir. If I may, Mr. Narrow Hollow.
Oh. Yes?
I have an exceedingly good memory, and as far as I remember, nothing of any significance took place here at that hour. Nothing at all.
Oh. Really? Mr. Garradeb? The way you were talking before, it sounded rather like there might have been.
Oh, well, as I was saying, it was just a trifling matter, really. Nothing of. Joan, dash it all, what is the matter with you, woman?
I made an endless decanter of tea, and I intend to use it. Begging your pardon, sir. Nothing happened.
Yes, quiet. Nothing happened. You sat down to a quiet, uneventful meal. Joan?
That's right, Mr. Garradeb.
What is the matter with these two?
It sounds like something happened here in this room on the evening of the incident, but what?
I wish I knew. Could you tell us which floor Mr. Natsume's room is on?
Why, certainly. Just below us on the first floor.
And Mr. Sholmes is investigating there, even as we speak?
Yes. Told me Nat's name had asked him to look into the matter, so I gave him the key.
Mr. Natsume has engaged in Mr. Sholmes' services.
You were going to say call him the exact same thing, weren't you?
Mr. Nats's name.
His name. He couldn't resist.
Okay.
Mr. Nat's his name.
That's a blatant lie. Would it be alright if we also had a look around? In Mr. Natsume's room, I mean.
Don't see why not. It's just down one flight of stairs.
Who knows if we'll find anything that will help us with the case. But we have to try. We need all the clues we can lay our eyes on. Shall we?
Yes, and while we're there, we can speak with Mr. Sholmes again. Perhaps he'll be able to tell us more.
Should we keep looking around or move on?
Look at his medal.
Alright. Look at his medal.
That looks like a Medal of Honor, and it's showcased on a very grand banner.
Yes, it's displayed with some pride, I would say. Although it bothers me that it's not straight.
What? That old thing?
Sorry?
I should be glad to see the back of it, but the general would turn in his grave if I disposed of it. The wall's the best place for it. Keeps the bally thing out of my way.
So it's just been polished but to shine by accident, I suppose.
There appears to be an inscription on the medal itself. Look. Let me see. It says, "For distinguished participation."
Participation award. Participated in war.
You showed up.
Good for you.
Congratulations.
You were private, but boy, oh boy, were you still in the war.
Oh boy!
You were like maybe going to the front lines in 3 weeks or so. Anyway.
All he went out was like a busted kneecap. Good for you!
What if he shot his own kneecap by accident?
Oh no!
Would you put it past him?
Well, they never said he didn't.
Maybe we'll have to ask him about it next time.
Maybe. Sounds like the kind of honors even I could be in line for.
Well, one doesn't like to blow one's own trumpet, but I was given that for my time in the army. Can't measure an officer by the number of medals to his name, of course. Common knowledge in military circles.
Alright, anything else?
I mean, I guess just all the war stuff.
What's that thing on the floor?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't click that, but I'll click this thing.
Look at that enormous screen. It must have been put there deliberately, surely.
Yes, it certainly looks like someone's trying to hide something from view. Could be behind it, I wonder.
I'm going to have a very quick look. Just a little peek.
Maybe not. So maybe let's not, Ms. Susato. I think the maid is going to head us off with that cup of tea.
Run, children. Run before she gets you, too.
You got it, sir. But first, let's look at this. That portrait of Mr. Garadeb is glaring at me, I swear.
Have you noticed that all the little frames contain photographic prints of Mr. Garadeb as well?
Yes, and there seems to be a statue of a lion on the main mantelpiece as well.
Seems to come back from the local pawnbroker with that little trinket.
Seem to have come back? What do you mean?
The chap who runs the place is a bony wizard. Went in to sell him something and came up with that thing. In point of fact, now I think about it, I rather often find myself leaving the place with something I don't need.
The lion ornament certainly does seem to surplus to requirements. Seems surplus to requirements.
Before we continue, Andre, better warm up, because he's coming.
Okay.
Just a word of
Jaws
warning.
theme starts in the background.
Susato-san doesn't pull his punches, or throws for that matter. I'm just gonna click on everything, whatever. Are there those motor shells? They're enormous! Nortar.
I hadn't noticed. What are they doing here?
Ah, those old things. A couple of little rounds I accidentally fired into the barracks during training, you know.
Oh my god.
Became a bit of colorful regiment folklore, that incident.
You mean you deliberately hunted out spent shells?
Well, I didn't say deliberately, exactly.
I wouldn't say spent either.
They're only scrap iron, after all. Usually just thrown away, I believe. But you never know when things might come unuseful, do you?
Useful for what exactly?
Yes, well. Listen, this cannon is for self-defense, and that's the story I'm sticking with.
All right.
Joan did manage to knock off one of the bally things on my foot the other day while she was dusting.
No.
Hadn't shed a tear since 1869 before then, you know?
Maybe reconsider throwing them away.
Drop the shell on his foot down.
Participation on my ass. Oh, Jesus Christ. That uniform looks fairly ancient, doesn't it?
It's clearly been looked after. Well, it's clearly been looked after. Well, oh my god, it's clearly been well looked after, though.
There you go.
Nothing better than rags, really.
Oh?
Well, that ceremonial garb and my retirement pass, you know? But I'm not for dwelling on the past, me. But I'm glad I thought it out. But you know how it is. Anyway, doesn't hurt to have the old piece of memorabilia lying around, does it?
Oh, I see.
Perhaps we should leave the past in the past. That's a full-size cannon! What's it doing here?
Oh my, it's real! I thought it might be a replica.
That old thing? That's a little more than a toy.
His entire mood in this entire scene is like, oh, that's that old thing. It's just that thing.
Yes, it's just that. Oh my.
Whatever. I got it.
Whatever.
I got it back then.
Beats getting rid of it.
Yeah. Sorry?
Army was selling it off when I retired, so I decided to give it a new home. Never know when the enemy might attack next. Jolly useful to have a cannon about the house. It is for self-defense.
It's just John Garadeb exercising his Second Amendment rights, baby.
Do they even
In a
have
completely
that
different
yet?
country.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy. Really? Isn't it overkill?
Be prepared, we say. You never know what this twisted world is going to throw at you next, boy.
That's the truth.
Do you think there may be trouble brewing, Mr. Garadeb?
Always is. Take Joan here. Never fails to have a clean apron in reserve. Dries them over the barrel, you see. They dry very well in the cannon here, Joan tells me, which rather proves my point, I feel.
It's been reduced to a drying rack. No wonder the huge cannon looks like it's hanging its head in shame. That poor cannon. I noticed you have a pile of books here, Mr. Garadeb. Do you enjoy reading?
Never experienced a London winter, boy? The nights are long. No better way to pass the time than in the front of the fire with a jolly good book.
That does sound nice.
It does.
Oh, there's a copy of Ranster magazine here, I see. No doubt Mr. Garadeb enjoys sentences that hurt chums too.
The great detective has many great followers, it would seem. Okay, this is the last place to look and look. Oro? Should we go there? Alright. Andre.
I'm always investigating cakes.
Well.
Well, I mean.
All right.
Get ready.
Okay.
He, as you would know,
Holy schlamoli, look at that.
he's something.
Meow.
Meow?
Natsume's room.
Meow.
Who said that?
Then who lit the candle?
Hello? Reginald?
Meow.
You hear me now?
Nope.
No, it's not really.
Pretty low.
You sound really distant.
Oh shit, my gain's low. I'm sorry. Oh wait,
Oh.
am I allowed to cuss? I'm sorry. Oops.
We were talking to Reginald, but hi,
You're
Lou.
good.
What's
Hey,
up?
Lou.
Hi. How you doing? How we
Hello.
doing?
Hello.
You good, Reginald?
Meow. Okay.
I'm just lurking. Feel free.
All right.
Go ahead.
Well,
So what about now?
Really far away.
It's better, but yeah, you could turn it up more.
Like this?
That's better.
yeah.
Maybe a little more.
How about now?
Yeah, that's really good.
A little too much, I
Alright.
think.
Oh, really?
19th February, Mr. Natsume's room.
Yeah,
It'll
you're
do.
definitely peaking.
It'll do for now, but lower it just a touch. Just a touch.
Right there.
Keep talking.
Right there. Is that good?
Yeah. There we go.
Right.
All
Yeah,
right.
It's
Well, just look at this place. And smell it. It's so musty in here. I suppose it's the mountain of old books that are responsible for that. Look, a cat.
I don't think I've ever seen so many books in all my life.
No, me neither. It's so dark in here, too.
Is that the window over there?
Well, it was the window, I think, yes. Once upon a time. But for some reason, it's been closed up with bricks and a motor. Motar.
Mortar.
Mortar, thank you.
Bricks and motor.
So this is where Mr. Natsume lives.
By the way, I haven't spotted Mr. Sholmes anywhere, have you?
No, that's true. But according to what Mr. Garadeb told us, the great detective should be around here somewhere investigating. But first, let's look at this cat. Isn't it neat?
Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you say, Michael?
Oh,
Oh yeah. I love it. I should go.
oh
give my
my,
cat
what
some
an
kisses.
adorable little cat. Perhaps he's looking after all the books while his master is away.
I don't know about that. He disappeared into that pile of books as quick as a flash. It was a tri-colored Mickey, was it? Do they even have that sort of cat in Great Britain?
Perhaps Mr. Natsume brought the little creature with him from Japan.
That's made me feel homesick now.
Already? We've only been in the country for 2 days. Where did the kitty go?
Did a better job of bringing his cat than Nicolina did.
Yeah. It's true. It's
We
true.
never even saw that cat.
It is very true.
Yeah.
We didn't!
Yeah, what happened to that cat? Look
They're
at all.
just like, nah.
Nah. It's not important.
It's like the one dropped thread from this entire game is we don't know what happened to the cat.
This is to make up for it. Look at those books stacked up there. They almost reach the ceiling.
They're all works of English literature, and they all smell so musty.
With this volume of books to hand, you'd never be short of reading material, would you?
No, what a dreamy idea.
A bad dream, maybe. For me, at least. Mind you, I don't imagine the book that's at the bottom of the pile now will ever be read again.
Ah, so reading it is an experience that comes but once a lifetime, just as the tea ceremony teaches us.
I certainly didn't expect the conversation to turn down the path of tea ceremony philosophy. Fuck it. What's over here? Oh, not there, not yet. Oh, okay.
Fire hazard is what's over there, my god.
That desk
Seems to be wedged into a crevasse?
Crevasse.
Between the mountains of books on either side.
I suppose
I think
Mr.
it's
Not...
crevice.
Crevice?
Hmm.
Alright.
Crevice is Crevice.
The British spell things differently sometimes.
Fair
I
enough.
know crevasse is different, though.
Yeah, like in
And
the
then
song
order is
Wonderboy.
supposed to
Yeah,
be-
the crevasse!
And order is supposed to be with an E, but, you know.
Yeah. I suppose Mr. Natsume would sit there and read while stroking his cat. But surrounded on all sides by these towering old tomes, surely he dreamt of books every night as well.
Meanings of the words are very similar, but they are different. He must have done, mustn't he? Oh, what's this? It's a receipt from a second-hand bookshop. Your books.
Oh, yes. Mr. Natsume's book is on it, look. And the date of the purchase... 2 days ago, at 4:45 p.m. That's the day of the incident.
That's just a short while before he was embroiled in the terrible attack. He must have been on his way back from buying some old books.
The second half was... Oh, wait, right, Reginald. Go for it.
Second-hand book receipt. A receipt discovered in Mr. Natsume's room for some books that he had purchased from a second-hand bookstore before the incident occurred.
Look at that.
There's a kitty statue.
Yeah, we're gonna look at it next.
Look at the kitty statue.
I know.
Beckoning directly to us.
Look at the little kitty scarf.
All right. I've investigated thoroughly, but I can't find his place.
Yes. Oh, look! It's a beckoning cat from home!
It's a bit big and bulky, isn't it? Surely Mr. Natsume didn't bring that Maneke Neko all the way from Japan with him.
I hardly think you're in a position to comment, Mr. Naruhodo. Are you forgetting the enormous Daruma doll that you brought in your luggage?
Well, it can be dangerous to traveling abroad. I wanted a Lucky Charm.
Well, I imagine Mr. Natsume wanted the same. And this cat is sure to beckon good luck to him.
It's not doing a very good job so far, is it?
You mustn't say such things.
I didn't say a word! Why are my eyes such a giveaway? Is that a thing? I investigated thoroughly, but woo, 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 woo.
What the heck?
Where did he come from?
There he is.
He wasn't there earlier.
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just sitting reading this nice, cool book.
Yes.
Look, Mr. Naruto.
Aha! There he is. Where did he come from?
He seems to be engrossed in the pages of an old book. I hope you won't mind if we disturb him. Hello, Mr. Sholmes?
Ah, you two, good day. Now, let me see. Where was that? Where was it that we met?
Mr. Sholmes, we were together on the SS Buria.
Yes, of course, the Buria.
As well, right, the Buria.
Buria. Let me see what happened on that voyage.
It was Kazuma.
Oh, okay, my bad.
It was Kazuma Sogi. Died tragically. But you were a great help to us.
Ah, yes, but of course, the case of Mr. Sogi. It was what with the snake, wasn't it?
Oh,
Well, you seem to remember something of it, at least.
what an honor to be remembered vaguely by the great Herlock Sholmes.
The bare minimum. Incredible.
This is Mr.
Oh, no, my dear madam, hold your tongue. I pride myself on my superior powers of recollection. Your names are safely recorded in my brain attic.
Uh-huh.
Miss Naruhodo. And Mr. Susato!
Try the other way around, Mr. Sholmes.
I lose the first round. In truth, I had hoped to invite you both to my Baker Street suite the day we arrived in London. But some Scotland Yarders ambushed me in the railway station and whisked me away to a crime scene. It was an entirely trivial case, of course. I solved the matter in no more than 30 minutes.
So they apprehended Soseki-san in that short of a time?
I can't read.
I caught something and I choked on it. Excuse me. There we go. So they apprehended Soseki-san in that short of amount of a time?
I'm afraid the pursuance of a new case has dulled my recollection of my past involvements a little.
A little?
It is a mistake to think that one's brain attic has elastic walls and can distend to any extent. I do my best to forget useless facts, lest they should elbow out of the useful ones. Yes, they are my own words of inimitable. Inimitable wisdom, you know, from an adventurer entitled A Study in Scarlet.
Please, there's no need to quote yourself.
I don't always remember my pearls of wisdom, but unfortunately my associate pens them beautifully.
He means Iris, I suppose.
Mr. Sholmes. We have some extremely important questions to ask you about this trivial case you just mentioned.
Goodness, what an earnest expression. My dear madam, I should only be too pleased. And this murky room is an apt place to discuss the murky case.
We know this has... Okay, We know this to be the lodgings of a Japanese foreign student by the name of Soseki Natsume. It seems that you assisted in the arrest, Mr. Shelms. For the stabbing of a young woman outside here on Briar Road. I think I need a break.
Natsume. Yes, I believe it was a name rather along those lines.
But Mr. Natsume denies it. Was it really justifiable to arrest him on so little?
I'm sorry, Miss Susato. But I have not the slightest idea what you mean.
What?
I can't believe he was looking at...
You good?
Everything okay?
I don't know what's going on with me. Don't worry. It's not nothing. I just lost my groove.
Well, I mean, I fell asleep in stream a few weeks ago, so you're still doing better than that.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm still awake. I can't believe he was looking Susato-san squarely in the eye while feigning ignorance.
I assure you, I'm not merely feigning ignorance. It would appear as if the pair of you are under some misapprehension.
Oh? How?
I assure you I have no recollection of accusing your stooped compatriot of the crime.
But that doesn't make any sense.
Oh yes, I'm British. Anywho, the good detective of Scotland Yard made the following request of me, and I quote verbatim. We need you to ascertain. Is it ascertain?
Ascertain.
Okay. We need you to ascertain the identity and whereabouts of a man seen fleeing the crime scene.
Man seen fleeing.
There were a number of books scattered on the pavement at the scene. From the book plates, I was quickly able to determine the bookshop from which they had been purchased. On speaking with the proprietor, I was immediately led to this address. Elementary, wouldn't you say? I believe there's a receipt around here somewhere from the establishment in question.
Hello, Megachib. Yeah, I got thrown. My group got thrown. So you don't think Mr. Natsume is the culprit then?
That I could not tell you. But it was aggravating my faculties. Hence why I returned here. However, this place is such a trove of fascinating books, I find myself quite lost in what? How do you say that word?
Bibliophily.
Bibliophily.
Close enough.
That's quite a word.
Do not be deceived into believing that I am a man of leisure. No, no, no!
Oh dear.
Tell me. Have you encountered the landlord of these lodgings?
Yes, Mr. Garantev. A retired. He's definitely not hired. A retired military man.
It was the first time I've ever met a soldier from the great British institution that is the services.
And it was the first time I've ever met a maid from the Great British Institute that is service. I didn't think it was that funny.
I do apologize. As you may well be aware, many households in London employ a maid.
Yes, I read as much in my Great Britain primer.
And so conversely, whether or not a household employs a maid has come to betoken the social standing of those dwelling therein.
Betoken their social standing? Sorry?
Put simply, my dear fellow, those who employ at least a single maid are considered middle class. Those who do not are beneath that. In the upper echelons of society, of course, households employ enough staff to constitute a large family.
Goodness, how extraordinary.
As you can appreciate, for those on the precarious boundary between the middle and lower classes, being able to afford just one maid is of the first importance.
I had no idea.
And it is for precisely that reason that I find great stimulation in the situation upstairs. Specifically in the retired Army veteran, Mr. John Garrideb.
Oh?
A fable as he is, the fellow is hiding something. Whether or not it imposes on the circumstances of this case, I am yet unable to ascertain.
I'm thoroughly lost on what he means to say.
This room is so thoroughly suffocating for the soul, my dear fellow. I assure you, any man whose lot is dwell in a place such as this will stab somebody sooner or later.
Mr. Natsume has stabbed no one.
Ah, but sooner or later, as I said.
I don't believe that's the issue here.
About this dark little room, Mr. Sholmes. Why is there no longer a window? Do you have any idea?
No window.
Well, I mean, I can clearly see that there is a window of sorts. But it's been completely blocked with bricks.
Ah, I see. The answer to that question is quite simple. Window tax.
Window tax? What is that?
Surely, not a tax on windows.
Precisely that.
Oh my goodness.
Until relatively recently, a tax was levied on households in this country by the number of their windows.
It's levied.
Oh, levied? Okay. Those of lesser means, having inherited a sizable and costly family home, perhaps rapidly close windows up. While the rich open windows here and there and everywhere. An effort to curry favor with those in the power by furnishing them with large sums of tax money.
How awful and unjust, forcing people to live in rooms devoid of light.
Indeed, the disease was rife as a result. So some 40 years ago or thereabouts, the window tax was abolished. But its legacy remains, as you can see. In squalid? Is that how you say that?
Squalid. Squalid or squalid?
Squalid. In squalid lodgings such as these, for example.
I suppose Mr. Natsume's stipend? I suppose
Stipend.
I suppose Mr. Natsume's stipend for living here in London isn't very generous, perhaps.
It would appear so. I've done a little digging. And discovered that these lodgings were offered at an extraordinarily low price.
Because the room is so awful, I should think.
Apparently, Mr. Natsume only moved in here about 1 week ago.
How did he move all these books?
Yes, that's correct. However,
Anime?
anime, my dear boy, anime!
He had the power of God and anime on his side.
True.
And
Yes.
cats. Don't forget cats.
Cats. Oh, those poor
Of
cats.
course.
Stuck in character.
That
Alright, let's-
poor cat.
I don't believe the low rent is explained by the shabby nature of the accommodation.
Oh?
Still, that is of little relevance here. A matter not worthy of further attention.
Are you sure? I'm curious now. Megachip says Doctor Strange portals.
Yes.
Now we're playing with portals.
What's your take on it, Mr. Shelms?
I don't. Doctor Strange portals. Yes! That's exactly what it is. Who's Doctor Strange?
He's probably Dr. Weird in this universe.
Mr. Weird.
Yeah.
Her name is Happy Dust.
He's also been played both by Benedict Cumberbatch, Sherlock Holmes, and Doctor Strange.
Yes!
Who would have thunk?
Anyway.
Well, I believe I've told you all I can now.
Thank you, Mr. Shelms.
Ah, yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Was it not your intention to become a practitioner of law?
You remembered that, did you?
Will you perhaps be offering your services in this very matter, I wonder? To the occupant of this room, Mr. Natsume, was it?
I'm not sure.
Not sure. On what grounds?
Well, I actually defended someone in court here only yesterday.
Really? Well, then I congratulate you, sir, on an ambition realized, and so promptly too.
The thing is, it's really made me question things. Am I right to believe in my clients? To trust their innocence?
Yes,
You
trust.
questioning it a second ago.
Mr. Shelms, Mr. Natsume didn't do it, did he?
My dear fellow, I haven't the first idea.
Oh,
I think he does, though.
Let's see. But
I think he does. You'll see.
Okay.
Wait, you haven't finished this case yet, have you?
They kept crashing on me after this for some reason.
Oh no!
Well, it hasn't been. Well, I'm gonna keep going after this goes on, but yeah. Anyway,
Huh.
who knows? I'll figure it out. I thought that's why you were here. Didn't you come back to investigate?
Ah, yes, that was indeed my initial intention. But there are simply too many fascinating books here. I couldn't possibly ignore them.
Oh, I see.
Nevertheless, there are two facts that I can state quite. I haven't. How do you say that word?
Unequivocally.
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 Unequivocally. That I can state quite unequivocally.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. The man who fled the scene of the crime 2 days ago was the Japanese occupant of this room. And there are witnesses who swear to having seen the same man commit the crime. That is all I can say. And one more thing.
Whoa, what is it, Mr. Sholmes? Tell us.
I cannot say with any certainty whether or not it is of relevance to this case, but I am quite sure that the retired armyman who owns this property is hiding something.
Mr. Garradeb is? Mr. Sholmes said as much as Mr. Sholmes said as much as before, actually. Didn't he?
Anyway, at present, that is really all that plays on my mind in relation to this case.
Mr. Naruhodo. As yet, our investigations have uncovered nothing that could establish Mr. Natsume's innocence.
No, you're right. Perhaps it's time we probed a little deeper into Mr. Garradeb's secret.
Oh boy!
Just remember, I cannot be sure whether the landlord's secret will prove to be of relevance or not. But I wish you every success, of course, Mr. Naruhodo.
See you in 10 minutes!
I'm gonna get some water.
Yeah, you better. A busy man indeed. He's gone back to his book in the corner of the room. All right, up there. We're back.
Hmm. 19th of February, Mr. Garradeb's room.
Hey, Paragon. Tell me, was the detective chap, I forget his name, still hard at work down there?
Mr. Herlock Sholmes?
Rings a vague bell. All the detective business isn't really my thing, I'm afraid.
Well, Mr. Sholmes is in his element down there.
Hold on.
All right. How are you guys feeling?
Good.
Feeling okay?
Feeling fine.
And I'm feeling good.
That's cool.
Jolly good.
Yeah. I'm getting my groove back too, so it's cool.
Always good to hear.
Yeah. I'm awake. Hee hee hee.
Awake, alert, alive, enthusiastic. Oh man, we used to sing that at camp. I miss going to camp, you know?
What other camp songs did you sing?
Oh, do your ears hang low? Do they wobble to and fro? Do you can tie 'em in a knot? Can you tie 'em in a bow? Can you throw 'em over your shoulder like a continental soldier? Do your ears hang low? That was always a fun one.
Yeah, and you get like all the motions at the end with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My water bottle makes like the weirdest noises. Like,
oh yeah.
Like this
what the hell's up with that? Yeah.
It's metal.
Yeah.
Jolly good show.
Oh.
We're back.
Another cup of tea, if you please, Joan. Now then, why don't you tell me what...
Okay, he
Well,
should have
the
predicted
time
this would
woman.
happen.
For the umpteenth time, woman, will you watch what you're bolly well doing?
I shall be serving dinner shortly, sir.
Yes, of course. Frightfully rude of me, but I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to take your leave, if you'd be so kind.
Oh, yes, of course. We are deeply grateful for all of your assistance.
Not at all. Don't get much of a chance to talk with young foreigners like yourselves. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck and all that. Perhaps you could see yourselves out.
According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garrideb is hiding something. And since no other avenues of investigation seem to be open to us at the moment, perhaps we should do some digging. What are you doing?
Something just appeared over there by the
Secrets.
window.
Are the little cakes hiding?
Gee, I wonder who that could be.
We never did get to look at the cakes. Look at the cakes. Naruhodo-san, look at the cakes.
Look at the cakes? Oh my gosh,
Look
it
at the
looks
cakes.
scrumptious.
You must look at those cakes.
Oh, look.
Yeah, we're looking at cake, all right.
What a wonderful collection of cakes lined up on that gleaming silver cake stand.
Lined up? It looks like someone has half demolished them to me.
Afternoon tea is a time of indulgence, you know. It is quite the English way. It is Mr. Garrideb's custom to take 2 cakes with his tea.
That sounds delightful.
Oh, wait a minute though. There are at least 10 cakes on this cake stand.
Come on.
Well, naturally, and it would never do to waste the leftovers. So, whatever Mr. Garrideb doesn't eat, I say to myself, Joan, you shall have to tidy up.
How magnanimous of you. Alright. Hey, isn't that... No, it couldn't be.
Pay no attention.
Who
Pay
could...
no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Oh, yes. Look at
I
the
see nobody
outside.
there.
What's he doing there?
He's getting his squats in.
Of course.
Mr. Sholmes.
Aha! We meet again, my dear fellow.
It's only been 10 minutes.
Gracious, what did you sneak in here?
Herlock Sholmes, sir, at your service.
Whatever were you doing over by the window?
I'm given to watching the evening sky as the sun sets, madame. It's sadly cheerful as the room downstairs undoubtedly it undoubtedly is. It lacks an aperture for such observation. So I took the liberty of borrowing a small corner of space by the window up here.
Well,
Keeping an eye to one's windows at dusk is the prudent thing to do in London, I'm gathering.
Ah, and one other thing, Mr. Naruhodo.
You're here to give some window tax?
Yes, I'm giving you some window tax.
From you? Oh, man. I get money. Oh, me?
1 sec.
Okay.
I thought perhaps you might be in need of a certain great detective's great mind.
What? God damn it,
Gotta
fuck
do the
it.
gas, man.
Wait. He's not talking about... Is he? I didn't expect to be going through that again so soon.
Do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
There's a mighty secret in this modest room. My eyes see even the most trivial of trifles. I take it you're prepared, Mr. Naruhodo?
I think so.
There's just time enough for one of my greatly admired great deductions. Let us conclude the matter before dark.
So you haven't gotten to this part yet, have you?
No, I finished this. I'm at the trial.
Oh, okay, never mind. Oh.
Mr. Garrideb. Though it seem you are military men of considerably distinguished service. Your standing as a landlord and is most certainly not what one might call first rate.
Hmm?
I'm afraid, sir, that it is all too clear to me. There are two conclusions I've been able to draw by careful observation of your living arrangements.
I beg your pardon?
The first is that even as we speak, you're concealing the presence of a ferocious beast in your care.
Enough with the snakes.
Eh?
And the second is that as a result of the beast's violent rampage, you have lost something very dear to you.
Mr. Nadhoda, look!
The old man's broken out in a cold sweat. Unbelievably, it seems Mr. Sholmes' conclusions are both spot on.
How could you possibly?
How could I possibly know? You mean to inquire? The answer couldn't be simpler, sir. For in the dense jungle of logic and reasoning, I am the king of beasts! And I know only too well that wild beasts are not easily tamed. So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular.
Oh boy, here we go.
He summons his own title screen.
How does he do that?
Nature of the beast. Certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see that a fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. This is so cool. Thus we are faced with the question, what form might the beast take? For a man with military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Caradib, leads us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast has run rampant here is revealed by the lion statue. Yes, though an army man, you appear unimposing at best. A fact that has fueled your admiration for the mighty lion, the king of beasts.
Is this Piff Askew?
That's a good word, Piffle.
In the end, your admiration became so great, in fact, that you had a living, breathing specimen shipped from India, which you tried to keep in this very house.
What?
Yet living with such a wild beast proved more difficult than you had imagined. Chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence.
Well,
yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? Madam?
me?
I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous.
Yeah, you did.
But it is plain to me with one glance in your direction.
It is.
Your dress pocket gives us a hand clue as to the beast's current whereabouts, and it's distorting.
Wait a
It's
minute.
crunchy.
Wow, it took a long time for that to happen.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're going for almost an hour and a half.
I hope to God that stays the same for the stream and not demonizing us. All right, we good
For
now?
yes. For protruding from it is a handbill advertising a circus show. Yes, you sought to dispose of this terrifying lion, Mr. Garadib. At Betty's Circus. A traveling show currently how do you say that word? Sojourning in a nearby park. I have observed the tents. You sold the savage lion, sir, to the circus troupe.
I most certainly did not.
I believe I've made my point. The fearsome beast which ran amok in this room was an Indian lion. And a simple visit to the circus now will reveal the lion prancing jubilantly through the ring of fire. Now, Mr. Garadib, it is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is veritably tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. Amid fits of tears, you let your beloved beast go. The strain of losing something so dear to you clearly visible in your visage.
Nonsense, man. I simply...
But what we must now ask ourselves is the true cause of this pain. And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is the pile of bills that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Every envelope contains another demand for payment. For cartloads of meat, potatoes, wheat, and tea. Indeed, feeding your beloved has had a devastating impact on the financial circumstances of your household.
Yikes.
And so you had no choice but to let it go.
Yes, well,
Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack.
Unimaginable?
The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, dearie me.
Could have caused such a destructive outburst. This time, madame, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the Tower of Cakes.
Those cakes do look pretty good.
I want some right now, but I'm on diet.
Right.
I know, right?
You go away. I need it to go away. It's still on the screen.
Oh, cake. Oh, he talks so much. I have to keep talking. Okay. There's no creature more dangerous on this earth than on this earth than a beast with an unsatiated appetite. Unsatiated appetite.
Yes.
Was it or was it not once said by a certain noblewoman, if they have no bread, let them eat cake? Food is at the heart of all tragedy, in fact.
Whatever do you mean?
Having tired of the taste of cake, the beast began to stalk its next prey. I'm sure I need not to spell out the nature of this final act of destruction carried out by the beast. There's only one logical conclusion. Worked into a frenzy by hunger, the lion attacked and ate the carpet. The teeth marks in the carpet are a perfect match with those of a lion I once saw in India.
I'm gonna BRB.
All right.
Okay. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this beastly puzzle.
You good, man?
So, yeah.
What's the matter with you, Joan? You're pouring scalding hot tea all over me.
I'm sorry, Mr. Gerative. I'm afraid I didn't notice.
My deductions can be startlingly sharp. It stands to reason that your cup runneth over. Indeed, my new revelations can make people spill tears at times, too.
I'm crying right now.
Not for the reason you want.
Why are you crying?
Don't worry, Mr. Shelves.
Okay.
Ew.
Mr. Shelmes, sorry to butt in again, but could I make an observation?
Why, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. What is it, again?
Well, your deductions just now. Do you really think a lion could fit inside a room of this size?
Indeed, it is the only explanation for the facts. The terrifying truth all too often lies beyond the realms of common sense.
Yeah, I'll say.
But wouldn't it be an idea to consider what lies inside the realms of common sense as well? Alright, we're gonna wait.
But if an uncaged lion had run amok in its very room...
Oh, back.
Come back.
Surely Mr. Geradev and his maid would have been hurt, or worse.
Ah, that's where you are stuck. No doubt the former militaryman held his own against the beast using that large cannon.
I thought you said that they sold a lion to a circus.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
And what about the food? Meat and potatoes are one thing. But I don't believe I have ever heard of a lion that drinks tea.
Ah, my dear Miss Susato, it occurs to me with some regularity that irrespective of race and breeding, whenever anyone lands on Great British soil, they're infused with a highly appropriate taste for afternoon tea.
It makes perfect sense.
Can't beat that logic.
Oh, what a glorious notion.
The moment you step foot in Britain, you automatically just love tea.
Yes.
Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's your turn to shine again.
You can make catnip tea.
What?
Yeah.
What does that even taste like? That sounds so
Catnip.
gross. Oh boy. All right. I had a feeling that was coming.
A slight massage, that's all Mr. Holmes's deductions need. You can do it!
Excellent. I've been waiting for my trusty partner in deduction to step forward, Mr. Naruhodo.
The following is a bunch of retreads, so you don't need to reread it.
Okay.
So you can, relax. Do you have
Yes!
to say it? Okay. We don't even know yet whether or not this is going to help with Mr. Natsume's case. Still, uncovering the truth is always worthwhile, whatever the motivation. At least, that's what I want to believe.
Let us start again. From the beginning. Of Herlock Sholmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. Course correction.
Hold it, Mr. Sholmes.
Oh my!
Damn, this is Scatman over here.
I really didn't see that lion thing coming.
No, but if you observe Mr. Garadev's reaction, it rather seems as though some beast did indeed run amok here in this room.
Yes, something with a very fierce nature. But it couldn't have been a lion transported from
That's
India. What?
That's me.
You're the lion
But it couldn't have
transported
been a
from
lion
India?
transported from India.
What a twist.
What? Inconceivable! So what was it then?
We must follow Mr. Garadeb's gaze. That will lead us to the true answer.
It's this thing. Impossible. What's this
What?
photograph?
It appears to be from Mr. Garadeb's wedding. He looks very happy, doesn't he?
He does, but you can't make out his bride. I can't make her out. Who
No,
could she
wonder
be?
who it is.
I just have no idea.
No, how unfortunate. Something must have struck the glass directly over the woman's face.
I wonder what happened. Probably not best to delve too deeply there. What the fuck? Okay. Did I already click on this?
The glass is broken. I
Well-
think powerful will be kinder than plump, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, she certainly looks that. There's a lot of horsepower there. not
What are they
someone
trying to
you'd
say?
not someone you'd want to upset. That's for sure.
They're trying to say she dummy thick. Is that what they're trying to say?
Oh, look! Have you noticed her wedding ring? It's very large, isn't it?
Yes, that's an unusual design.
It looks like some sort of embellished sunflower.
All right, I'll slap this on you, Mr. Holmes. Sholmes. Who's Holmes? The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that newlywed bride.
Precisely, Mr. Naruhodo. No other explanation could possibly fit. Yes, this framed print pictures your wife, Mr. Garadib. And while we will lament the fact that her face is obscured,
we can still make out her mighty arms and note the considerable horsepower they must contain.
My God, the way of
She's
just
not a car.
it's the way that she's saying like, "Oh, she's thick."
It's like she's not a car, man.
Indeed, surely any woman of such powerful constitution would be honored to be described as a beast. Oh my, no.
Honored might be stretching a point. This is mean.
Too late. The fact remains that the beast which so clearly savaged this room was your wife, Mr. Garadib.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
All right.
The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well. Yet, as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? Madam?
These are old now.
Okay, so we just. Alright.
Freeze frame.
Freeze frame.
Poor, fragile, defenseless woman is beside herself.
Well, I don't know about fragile.
Oh dear. Anyway, Mr. Sholmes is quite right. There's no sign of a Mrs. Garadib anywhere.
But it seems there might be a clue to her whereabouts. A clue that this maid is trying to hide. I wonder where Mr. Garadib's wife could be. Whatever could it be? Must I? Wow! It's like, geez, the text box.
It did say earlier that he lived there with his wife, so
yeah. She's wearing a very large ring. Look.
Oh yes, a sunflower design with some rather nice embellishments. And it's on the ring finger of her left hand, which means... it's surely a wedding ring.
It looks like it's been on there for life, too. I can't imagine it would slide off
Oh
of that...
God.
I can't imagine it would slide off a finger that size.
These guys are starting with the fat shaming, you
Okay,
fucking
dude.
assholes. Jeez.
That's something to think, Mr. Naruhodo-san. Not to say. Do you know, Mr. Garadib's wife in the photograph had a ring very much like this one. It was a large sunflower design as well.
Really? You have a great memory for these things. A large
just looked
sunflower
at it.
wedding ring. We did? It's quite a coincidence that they have the same ring, isn't it? It's kind of interesting, you know.
Come on.
But who knows? I might get yelled at for presenting this, but who knows? Oh, look at that! It works. Your wedding ring, the wedding ring. Your wedding ring.
What was that about
Keep on
groove?
this.
What? I threw off my groove. I'm sorry, you threw off the Emperor's groove. Sorry. Beware the groove. The groove. Your wedding ring gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts.
Indeed it does. The flowery band gleaming on your finger gives you away. For it is identical to the one shown on the hand of Mr. Garadib's bride in the photographic print.
In other words, you are no ordinary housemaid.
No. You are Mr. Garradib's lucky bride. You are Mrs. Garradib herself.
And we're gonna wait for Arkham. You okay there, Blackjack?
Yeah, you alive over there?
What about you, Andre? You've been zipping and twirling around for like 45 minutes.
I'm good.
Okay.
I drank like 2 cups of water.
Okay, Arkham's back.
Well, jolly fine detective, sir. As you rightfully surmised, this is my wife, yes. My Joan. Rather let herself go, you might say, but she was bound to cook.
Oh, sorry. It would appear that you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you are retired army men, yet you are in the business of renting out rooms.
Sure.
I would assume, therefore, you have insufficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct?
It's not right, I tell you. I was second lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. Man has his pride, don't you know? By golly, it's a sorry thing when a champer can't even afford to have a single maid in his employ.
Yes, here in London, one is rather judged. The household cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. Though, in my considered opinion, such concerns about appearances are a folly.
We've seen your house staff, Mr. Sholmes.
You mean Mr. Garradeb has his wife work as his maid?
Precisely. Am I right, Mr. Garradeb?
Only in company, obviously. Listen here. This must remain a secret. Kept top secret, please.
Okay, this is a bunch of archive stuff. Zip?
Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you're feeling.
Mr. Sholmes is quite something. He's still calling Mr. Garradeb's wife a beast.
Well, neither one of them really objected to it.
Yes, as a woman, that feels rather uncomfortable.
But Mrs. Garradeb is standing beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he?
Oh, how true! So perhaps that supporting arm that seems to be propping up his head has some other significance then.
According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garradeb's pain is tangible, though. What could that pose of his really signify? I feel like a Looney Tune about to look into some hole and it just explodes. But anyway.
By the way, every time Joan slaps her cheek, I've been slapping my cheek. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm kind of red right now, too.
Oh
no.
I hope you're okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
That sounds kind of painful.
Yeah. Oh my. Oh my. Look at that bright red mark.
That's quite something. And clearly made by somebody's hand.
Yes, Mr. Gardev has been slapped on the face, it seems. Hard.
I've never seen such a clearly defined mark. Whoever could have done such a thing?
Well, there's a very limited number of candidates, I'd say.
Yeah, no kidding.
Take that.
Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you feel being revealed by the slapped cheek.
And of course, that the deliverer of that impressive mark on your cheeks that refuses to fade was you, Madam Joan Garadib.
Look at her. Look at her eyes.
Aww.
Yes.
Aw.
You have been desperate to hide the slap mark on your cheek, sir.
Oh, the blazes! How'd you work that out, man?
Nothing escapes the notice of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow.
That's why you haven't looked directly at us even once. To keep the other side from view.
Well,
Now let us proceed to the next conundrum. Why were you subjugated to such a violent slap? In other words, we must ask ourselves what caused Madame Garadib to fly into such a rage. And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is the pile of bills that have given rise to the pain you suffer.
Didn't Mr. Shum say that the bills were all for lion fodder?
Yes, but now we've established that the lion never existed.
You haven't proven that.
Which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all that food was Mr. Garadib's what?
Mr. Naruhodoshi is a person, not a thing.
Yes, well, she's also a person who gave her wife a mighty slap around the face. One
Her
so
wife in Victorian London.
one so hard that it left a perfect mark, in fact.
Yes. Why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wonder?
I'd love to know the answer to that question. Dear God.
Bill!
This isn't the answer, by the way, but still.
Someone must be reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here, look. Mr. Garadib is clearly an avid reader.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't think this is a bookmark.
Oh no, so it isn't. It's a note written in a woman's hand. How can you tell it's a woman's handwriting? Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary.
And look next to the signature there. Lip marks made with lipstick.
Lip marks made with lipstick.
No shit,
Yes!
Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, what a passionate and romantic gesture.
Don't get any ideas, Mr. Sato-san.
Oh dear, I'm sorry.
So this bookmark is actually a love note then. Clearly, this is the answer, right? So, let's use this clearly red herring to just do this.
Ain't that?
Did that get you on your playthrough?
Yes. Yes, it is this love note that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Oh, wait,
James,
that was
I love you. Yours, Mary.
Wait, this is
Passionate indeed.
Wait, that was the actual answer. Oops.
Perhaps the sender of this note, a certain Miss Mary, is the fly in the ointment here.
Hey! But I don't know the bully woman.
You don't know her?
That note wasn't written to me. It was just in the book. I don't know how it got there.
It was just in there, you say?
That's right. That's what I've been saying.
A likely story?
Now listen here, Joan, old thing. I explained at the time. I bought the book at that second-hand place, and that note must have already been in there.
So, the previous owner of the book was using that note as a bookmark, you mean?
That's right. That's what I've been saying.
Gets me every time.
Likely story.
For sake, woman, look at the name. It's written to James. My name, in case you'd forgotten, is Jordan.
A likely story?
Are you questioning my name now?
And there we have it.
This is abusive.
It's a little bit.
Yeah. Arouse the suspicions of the female.
A little more than a little
heart,
bit,
and you
but-
unleash a beast with the most ferocious bite. Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack.
Unimaginable? Oh, this is the background, isn't it? Yeah.
You want me to read this still, or is this a...
Oh, wait. Yeah, no. Thanks for catching that.
Oh, dearie me. Okay.
But surely Mrs. Scaredeb didn't eat the carpet.
No, of course not. Did she? But there doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of Nerea that this room is in a result of her wild temper.
No, that's true. So, this is the last part of Mr. Sholmes' deductions that we need to fix. We need only to follow Mrs. Scaredeb's gaze, and that will tell us the real answer.
All right, let's see what we can see.
Yes!
Okay. The carpet here has been ripped to shreds.
Yes, and according to Mr. Sholmes' deductions, the tears match those made by an Indian lion's teeth exactly.
Look here.
What is it?
If you look closely at the edge, you can see scorch marks.
Oh yes, so you can. In that case, perhaps the carpet wasn't eaten in the normal sense at all.
Let's rethink this with that in mind. I forgot the answer, actually.
Candlestick! Candlestick!
Yeah,
And a Lara.
candlestick.
There we go.
You sure it isn't the cake?
This looks
I
like a
want
very old
cake.
candlestick, doesn't it?
The base looks small. Surely it's very unstable. It looks to me like even the slightest knock would make it topple over.
Oh dear, that would be dangerous.
Wait, take a closer look at this. There's one candle missing.
Yes, I didn't notice that before.
Why is that, I wonder? Why is one candle of the 3 missing from its holder? Wherever could it be? Wherever could it be? Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the candlestick.
Distortion.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh jeez!
It's left.
Oh gee whiz!
And
I'd like to point out that I noticed the candlestick earlier.
No.
Yeah.
Most illuminating, my dear fellow, and of course the only possible way out of this logical labyrinth.
Yes, the remnants of a ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible.
Indeed they are. The scorch marks at the edge clearly give the truth away.
Scorch marks?
It would appear that this room was a scene of a little marital altercation.
Mrs. Garandav's mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on her husband's face.
Oh my god. But on the entire room, the force of her strike caused the candle to fall from the holder.
Shockwave.
And in seconds, the carpet was alight, and the whole corner of the room in flames.
Yes,
For the most ferocious beast in this world is neither a violent lion nor a vengeful woman, but fire.
And in this room, that ferocious beast barred its claws and ran amok.
Eloquently put, my dear fellow. So you see, there is but one conclusion here.
Okay, after the sparks of marital dust flew, this room was the scene of a fire!
Yeah!
We've nailed it.
Golf clap, golf clap, golf clap.
very impressive. Poor bloke.
Mr. Sholmes, sir. I salute you!
Oh, the poor dad.
Oh, wow.
Nice catch.
Deduction complete. Elementary.
Okay, this will be the last scene.
It's these blessed long winter nights, you know. Nothing to do but read in front of the fire. Luckily, there's a jolly good second-hand bookshop just around the corner. With all my old novels there. Buy all my old novels there.
And in pages of one particular novel, you discovered some rather illicit material.
For which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems.
Don't know about admonished. Demolished might be rather close to the mark. And beast is most certainly an apt description. Yeah!
Here we go again. And the carpet? Was that destroyed by the fire when a candle fell into the floor? Onto? On.
I'd to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bully thing. I was caught between the old Styx rage and the raging flames.
Paint a torrid picture, sir. One that would have been most entertaining.
That's sympathy for you.
Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. We've had to hide the mess behind that screen for the time being.
Over there, Mr. Garrideb.
Well, you have nothing more to hide now. If you allow me. Oof.
Got all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh! Up in smoke.
Gosh.
Then the wife started hurling things at me.
And I do it again.
What a terrible sight it must have been.
There was I, back up against the window under heavy enemy fire, incendiary books coming 10 to the dozen. Worst of it is, I lost my favorite, called The Lion's Pride.
The Pride? Ah, yes, your notorious love of big cats coming through again.
I assure you, the title didn't influence my choice in the slightest.
So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of the ferocious beast's rage.
Mr. Sholmes' deductions turned out to be correct once again.
It can only be described as a great British wonder.
It was total carnage, flames everywhere, and the old stickin' full fettle.
Out of interest, what time of day was that?
Not sure I can remember. It was 2 days ago now. Let's see. Around 5 o'clock, I think.
So at exactly the same time. As a terrifying incident was unfolding outside your window on the street below.
Even more terrifying on the inside, I can assure you. All of Blighty could have been flattened outside my window at that moment. And I wouldn't have noticed a dashed thing.
Oh, really?
There's one big Adam's apple he's got. Pointy.
Right?
First time they say the murder is Joan instead of Maid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Sholmes.
Yes, Mr. Naruto. What can I do for you?
Well, I think we've got to the bottom of Mr. Garrideb's situation now. But what does it have to do with Mr. Natsume? But what does it have to do with Mr. Natsume's circumstances?
I can't help you there, I'm afraid.
What?
My dear fellow, if you recall, I did say as much from the outset. I warned you that although I knew the retired army men to be hiding something, I could not be sure whether his secret would prove to be of relevance or not.
I just knew you were going to say that!
Now, Mr. Aruhodo, you mustn't lose heart. Bear in mind that all the things fall into one of two categories. Those relevant to the case and those not.
That makes no sense to me.
Well, no matter. It is of far greater importance that you make up your mind now.
Sorry?
Visiting hours at the prison will soon be over.
Oh no. Is it that time already?
If we're to accept Mr. Natsume's case, we have official paperwork to attend to.
So that's it. No more time to think.
Pardon me, I have to make it. Perhaps you'd like to betake yourselves to bidding us farewell now. I must prepare supper for Mr. Garrideb.
Oh, yes. I'm so sorry.
Thank you both very much for your time.
Soseki-san will be waiting for us. And I'm going to have to give him an answer. And that answer will have to wait till next week.
Woo!
Darn it.
Yeah, sorry, Red.
I think my favorite person comes up after this too.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed everyone's performances in that whole dance of deduction. That was very, very good.
Oh, absolutely.
And all the Garrideb.
So funny.
Very fun.
Yeah.
We're glad you enjoyed yourselves. All right. Well, anyway.
Thanks, Lou.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming. And
Yep.
Thank you, Andre, for taking over Sherlock.
Anytime.
I'm sorry. Who's Sherlock?
Sherlock Sholmes.
Sherlock Sholmes.
Yeah. And I'll see you all again later next week.
Awesome.
Ta-ta.
Bye.